Okay, the JBS Meat Packing House expects to be back in production today. So I'm sure that they settled with the hackers, uh, but Zero Hedge, Tyler Durden, which is many, many people, Tyler Durden isn't actually a person, but this is what they're saying. A meat shortage has been averted, but since hacker groups are targeting commodity linked companies, which company will be next? And that's a very good point. I think we probably have averted a nationwide meat shortage, although there's already been some panic buying and some uh, price gouging. National chains have gone and raised the price of meat already on their meat counters that are not affected by uh, the hacking of the meat packing plant, which is just dirty. But it's the way of the world now, that's for sure. Anyway, that's just a little tidbit. We have averted a possible crisis, and where's the next one? These hackers, this ha- group that hacked JBS Meatpacking, that's a different group than the original hackers that hacked the Colonial Pipeline. So apparently there's several groups in Russia. They're all Russia based. And this is, I think it's fairly easy to track where it originates, Anyway, that's good news. So the meatpacking JBS, it will be back in production today, Thursday. See ya. This is how young people work nowadays. There was an ad on Craigslist asking for, in the wanted section, asking for anybody who had a muffler for a Honda State Line and a Honda Fury. And what are the odds? I've had this laying under here since about the 200 miles I put on that bike and realized that I didn't like these pipes. So I answered the ad. I said, yeah, I've got a brand new set of pipes that I took off my State Line, which the State Line and the Fury use the same mufflers. So, we're back and forth a little bit. He asked me what I wanted. I gave him a more than reasonable price. These are several $100s, and these are essentially brand new. And he asked me to send him a picture. So I set it up here, and I took a couple of pictures of it and sent it to him. And then, we agreed on the price. Okay, and then the next text message was, would I bring it to him? I told him where I live, Would I bring it to him in Shreveport? I said, man, I'm like 5 minutes from Shreveport by car. I just live over the Texas line. And he goes, yeah, well, that's really far for me. Okay, and it's not for me. You're the one that wants these. I'll put these back underneath my bench, and they'll sit there till I give them away. I'm not gonna carry them to you too. I'm selling it to him for pennies on the dollar, and then on top of that, he wants me to bring it to him. God, young people, I tell you, I just don't know how their brains work sometimes. It was a young guy too. I could tell by the words he was using in his text and the way he was shortening I'ma instead of I'm going to. He wrote I'ma do this, I'ma do that, IMMA. Anyway, back to work, everybody. Well, I've been working in my outdoor kitchen, and so far I've got that light mounted and the wire run. That's 12 volt. So now I gotta connect, I gotta make a switch plate. I'm gonna put it right there to the side of the door. Now I've got the CB taken down that I had up there, and I've got the CB that I'm gonna use right here. Now this thing, just these little things here you pull out, and this thing slides right out. I've got a couple of quick disconnects in there that just unplug. This, I'll unscrew this and I'll take this in whenever I'm not using it. So, problem solved. I do not need to make a waterproof housing. I just take it in when I'm not using it. So let's see if I just hooked it up just now. I want to see if I can get a radio check, and let me see how many people tell me to shut up, stupid. How about a radio check? Channel 19, brand new radio, just hooked it up. Am I getting out? Hello.
It's working.
Alrighty, thank you much, appreciate it. It's working. Good enough. That's all I wanted to hear. Okay. So now, comms-wise, tomorrow I should get my handheld. It's made by the same company. It's called the President Randy. And I may do some experimenting, get my wife on this radio and see how far off I can drive in my Gator and still talk to the house with a handheld. Although I have one of these in my Gator. Do I have my Gator up here? Yes, I do. And that's not the reason I got the handheld. I got the handheld so if I'm not on my Gator, or I can even carry it with me in the truck. And, you know, someday if I'm ever in a traffic jam, or, I mean, basically it's a handheld CB radio that puts out 4 watts. So the potential for its use is there. And in a situation where I needed to communicate with my wife, let's say I was way down there at the other end of the property, or way over there on the other side of Biv's pond, you know, my wife and I could communicate with each other. I hesitate to, I don't want to sound nutty, you know what I mean? There are some nutty preppers out there who are preparing to fight an army. I'm not. I'm just preparing to keep ourselves safe in the event that there aren't any police and the police can't keep us safe, or the police are too busy, you know, somewhere else. It's just her and I and Bev, and if I'm out somewhere doing something, I want my wife to be able to get a hold of me in emergency, and vice versa. You know, we're both older folks, and you know, I could have a stroke or fall down and break a hip, and so could she. And having comms that are not cell phone related, because you know, there's the possibility that they may not exist in times of emergency. Come on. So there you go. I really hate to I don't want anybody to think that I'm expecting the world to end. I'm not. I'm preparing just in case life as I know it changes drastically. I do think that there's a possibility, and that's all I'm going to say. You know, a Tex farmer left a comment, and, you know, I agree. He said he found an abandoned house, and in it were some 1960s era, I don't know if he said Time magazine or Newsweek, one or the other. And in it were articles about, you know, the end of the world, World War III. This is in the 60s. Now, I remember growing up in the 60s, and we had nuclear drills and duck and cover drills in grammar school. I grew up in the 60s, and there was always the threat of nuclear war. So it was absolutely a thing, and World War III was absolutely a thing. But his point was, since basically the dawn of modern man, people have been worried that, you know, the end is near, which is true. But his point was to just keep living life and enjoying life, and I fully agree. I fully agree. You know, put some food back, make some preparations, do what you think you need to do to continue life in a comfortable manner should electricity fail, or internet fail, or currency fail. That's all. But continue to enjoy life. Okay, my wife's been tinkering in her flower beds all day. I'm not really not really doing a whole lot myself. I'm just sort of taking a day off. I guess you'd call it puttering. And I got two things accomplished. I got my light up, and I got this mounted, and the solution to the problem of keeping it dry. So just take it in when I'm not using it. It's that simple. The coax unscrews, and I pull this out, and there's a couple of quick connectors in there. Just unplug them and slide it out of this little tray here, and it comes right in. So problem solved. Now I'm going to hook this wire to a toggle switch, and I will have a solar powered, battery powered, solar charged light. And if I get it hooked up, I'll show that to you tonight. I don't know how far I got telling you about this, what happened. I have a procedure coming up on the 10th, and it's going to take 3-4 hours for me to get through it. Well, they called me, and it was a recorded message reminding me of my appointment. And in the recorded message, they said that whoever comes with me, because I won't be able to drive, has to wait outside in their car. They can't wait in the lobby. So I called them back and told them to cancel my appointment. I'm not going to have my wife waiting out in the June heat in a neighborhood that is very dangerous. I mean, there was a shooting right across the street from them. And they want my wife to sit out in that parking lot. Yeah, not going to happen. So I canceled my appointment. Well, they called me back. And apparently, they've had a lot of people cancel their appointments. So they have changed their policy, and people can now go sit in the lobby and wait on their spouse. What a bunch of BS, huh? And that's what it took, is a bunch of people saying, well, screw you, I'm done with you. And I think the same thing is going to happen in the states that require masks. People are just going to say, you know what? I've absolutely had it with masks, so you're not getting my business anymore. We're done. And if enough people do that, they change the rules. All right, I have talked for 8 freaking minutes. My God, I'm so sorry. All right, I'm going to get that light hooked up, and the next clip you'll see is I'll show you my little toggle switch, and then I'll show you how bright that light is at night. See you tomorrow. All right, I'll get a look at that tonight. It's 8:30 and you won't get dark. Why won't you get dark? I want to try my light. Yeah. I'm glad I only used one. Suntan? No suntan. Okay, I'm going to take it in, but I just wanted to show you. Can you believe it's this bright at 8:30? Just wanted to show you the light. Now I'm going to undo my CB and bring it in.